Hello. Hi. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the most overlooked aspects of accurate manifesting. That is the topic for today's live session. And today I'm casting to both YouTube and Facebook. So as you come in, please say hi, like the live. If you've got questions about manifesting, drop them in the chat. Oh, right, here we go. Hey, An- ooh, Angel, thank you for the super chat. Is that your first one? That's a big one too. Thank you so much. I'll get to your question first in just a moment. Okay, so hang tight. But yes, hello, hello. Again, today is all about the most overlooked aspects in manifesting. So, to kick things off, I want to make the point of saying that manifesting is more than just putting a vision on a vision board or imagining what you want. Okay, there's a certain form that you need to have in order to have accurate manifesting. And hey, if you guys can hear the rain, let me know. We just had a thunderstorm start. So if you're hearing that, that's what that is. All right. But, anyways, lately, one of my latest hobbies, I think I mentioned this on the last live, is that I've been going to the gun range, just something to do, something fun. And I'm starting to get better at my form. And so this is an important thing to understand. If you go and you try to shoot a gun and you want to hit a target, you just don't go up there and pull the trigger. Okay. You have to understand the proper form. So there's a grip that you want to have. There's a certain way that you want to pull the trigger. You got to make sure that your stance is good. You got to make sure that you're looking through the sights appropriately. All of these things have to be taken into consideration in order to hit your target accurately. Well, the same is true for manifesting. There's a certain form you have to have. And so we're going to talk about what are some of the most overlooked things that people miss when they are trying to manifest. So these are things that either people don't know at all, or maybe they know them, but they don't really do them consistently, or they don't think that they're as important as they are. All right. So, again, if you've got questions about manifesting, drop them into the chat. I'll be answering a few in just a moment. But let's start off with the first thing. Okay. So, this is the first most overlooked aspect in accurate manifesting. Let me get my notes here. Ooh, hesitation. Hesitation. Hesitation creates fear, okay, and attachment and poor outcomes. Hesitation. Now, a lot of times you guys may have heard this that the universe likes speed. And so there's kind of this idea that the universe wants you to act quickly. That's what I think a lot of people think that means. But really, what you have to understand is that if you feel called to move in a direction of a dream and you hold back, you wait, the reason why frequently is that you're fearful on taking action. Okay. You're fearful on taking action. And so if you get an inspiration to do something, to move in the direction of your dream, and you kind of talk yourself out of it, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it when I know more. I'll do it when I get more information. What ends up happening is you start stepping into that state of fear. I don't know if I can do it. I don't have all the information yet. It's not going to work out for me quite yet. And then what happens is that fear will start to build momentum. Okay, so this frequently happens where you may have a dream that you want to materialize. You want to get the relationship or the job or the money, whatever. And you suddenly get an idea on how to do that or a direction to move. If you wait, that seed of doubt will start to grow and turn into fear and will often result in you not getting what you want. By contrast, if you put a dream out there and you get inspiration pretty quickly, do your best to just execute quickly. It doesn't have to be good execution, by the way. It doesn't have to be the thing that actually makes it happen. The point of executing quickly is to tell the universe, I'm ready. I believe in this. I can do this. You see? So a lot of people get caught up on inspired action They think there's something they're supposed to be doing. It's not about there being something that you're supposed to be doing. The question is, are you moving in trust or are you moving in fear? When you hold back and wait, you allow fear and doubt to perpetuate. Through the law of attraction, what you focus on expands. So waiting puts you in a position where you start focusing on fear, and the fear of you not getting your dream gets bigger and bigger and bigger over time. Now, as a practical example, this may have been something that you've noticed before. Have you ever wanted to do something? Maybe you had a task that you wanted to get done, but you kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. And the more time went on, the more stressed out you got about it. Man, I've been meaning to pay that bill, meaning to pay that bill. And you're getting more and more anxious about it. And then it feels like you just can't even do it. And then one day you finally decide, you know what? I'm just going to go pay that bill. And it's done in an instant. And you're wondering, why was I so scared to do that? It's the momentum. Okay. Holding off perpetuates fear and pushes away the things that you want. So you want to train yourself to be habitually pretty quick to the trigger, so to speak. Okay. When you get ideas, just take action on them. Again, the action itself doesn't matter. It's not about did you do the thing that made it come. What really matters is, am I moving in trust? So you want to train yourself to be someone who takes action quickly. You get ideas to do something as simple as let's go to the mailbox. Hey, drop what you're doing, go to the mailbox. Okay. You get an email that comes in that needs you to do something and you got the time to do it, go ahead and do it, wipe it out. The more you can train yourself to take action quickly, the better your manifestation form is going to be. Because when you get these ideas to move in action, you're going to move on them quickly, perpetuating your belief in your ability to do what you want rather than your doubt. All right. Hello, everybody. So many of you guys are in already. Nice to see all of you. Got some people over here on Facebook. Hello, Facebook. Lots of people over on YouTube right now. Hello, the Disciplined Lion, Cowlitz Bill, Sven LaRose, Pauline Love, Ellen Ames. Hello, hello, hello. Let me grab this super chat real quick from Angel. Or is it Angel? Hope I said it right. All right, here's a question. Hi, Andrea and Law of Attraction family. My question is, how do you manifest your first pregnancy at 40 with some fear of failure, but no histories of problems reproductively? That is, it's our first try. Can it be done? Of course it can be done. Of course it can be done. Well, first of all, what I would say is when you want to manifest things, you want to look for evidence that that is plausible and that that happens. So the first thing I would say is that, looking into examples of women who are getting pregnant in their 40s and collecting that data, because that's going to help you understand that, yes, not only is this possible, but, it can absolutely be done. I have a friend who had a baby, a good friend who had a baby at 41, and it was an oops baby. You might want to look at that too. There's plenty of women out there who are getting pregnant after 40 who don't even want to be pregnant. Okay. This happens a lot. So, a lot of times, what people will do is when they look at this situation, they start feeding into all of the evidence that you can't have a baby at that age rather than all of the evidence that you can. That's the big thing. So you want to steer away from all of that fear talk when people will tell you about, why it's not possible. You want to move instead into the why it is possible. Okay. The other thing is it's your first try. Be optimistic and have fun with it. Do yourself a favor. And if you're just getting going with this, what I would say is as you move into the process trying to have a baby, have fun with it and avoid the trap of becoming obsessive because attachments can happen pretty easily. People can get attached to the outcomes. A lot of times what will happen is that when women want to get pregnant and they're concerned about getting pregnant, they start researching all the many ways to make sure it happens. They start looking online, they start tracking a bunch of stuff, they start becoming really obsessed. And then if they don't get pregnant right away, they start to freak out that it didn't happen this month. And then that starts to build momentum. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. And that perpetuates. Okay, so instead, you really want to focus on just having fun, putting it out there, being cavalier about it, and maintain. It looks like you've got a pretty solid state of detachment right now, maintaining that state of detachment. Okay, because if you start to become attached to the outcome, it's going to become more complicated for you. So just have fun with it. And along those lines, guys, I meant to put this up. As you may know, if you've been watching some of my lives, I do have a couple of sales that are coming up. One of them is for a letting go program. So I'm going to go ahead and drop these in real quick. Mary, if you would put those into YouTube for me, that would be great. Mary 1111 on YouTube is my assistant. She's going to come over as my name on Facebook and drop those into the chat. But I do have a couple of programs that are coming out. The new one will be in October. It is a detachment program called Relaxed and Detached. And that particular program is really great for understanding why it's so easy to get attached and what you can do to easily get detached. Okay, so a lot of people do get attached to outcomes, and getting attached to outcomes is really one of the main reasons why people fail to manifest their dreams. If you're interested in that particular program, I have a link that's pinned to the top of the chat on YouTube. You can sign up to get notifications when that program goes live in October. And also, it will be 50% off the first week that I launch it. So if you want that coupon code, go ahead and sign up for that one. I also have another program going live next month in September, not going live, going on sale. That one is my love attraction program. It's called Magnetic Appeal. It's a great program for anyone who's struggling with issues of self worth in attracting a partner, or if you're interested in manifesting a specific person, but it's just not working, if you're having issues with an ex, or even if you're currently married, but the passion has drained out of your marriage. This is a program that's going to show you how to become magnetically appealing. Become the kind of person who attracts the attention that you want, the romantic attention that you want, rather than having to chase it, and also sustaining a passionate romance. Okay, so there's a link for that one as well. That one is going on sale next month for 50% off. So click that link to get the coupon code for that one. All right. My chat is like stuck. I got some more questions here I want to see. Kelly G says, if you need evidence, I had my two sons at 38 and 40. Thank you for the evidence, Kelly. Oh, that's the top chat. Live chat. There we go. Got a little stuck there. Sven LaRose, how can a homeless street person manifest a home, let alone a Mega Millions jackpot win? I've been getting lots of questions about how do the homeless manifest? Do I have lots of homeless people on the chat, or is this a hypothetical? Regardless, don't identify as homeless. Identify as having a home. All right, that's the step number one. So your home could be your country, your home could be your city, your home could be the park bench. But the idea is I have a home, I have a home, I have a home, rather than I don't, I'm homeless. That's the first step. Absolutely. Oh, Paris on Facebook said, just had my baby at 43. You see, Angel? Lots of people just right now, okay? Mentioning this. Hello, being Daroka. Hi, so inspired here from Batans, Philippines. Nice to have you. Paula, Andrea, hi, taking a few of your courses. They are great. I have a question about when you say to give up to manifest. What does that look like? Just stop dreaming big. It's a great question. It kind of leans into my next point here. Give up to manifest. Let me just go ahead and jump into the next point, because this is manifesting form and it's exactly kind of what you're talking about here. Okay, so our second point, our most overlooked aspects on manifesting. This one is willingness to walk away. Okay, so this kind of feeds into the question about giving up. A lot of times when people want to manifest, they are very attached. Again, they want to stay kind of on target, they want to stay focused on their dream. And sometimes it's due to the law of attraction content that's out there, because a lot of people will tell you, you got to focus on your dreams, don't give up, look at it every day, affirm it every day. And people become very attached to this idea that they have to continue to focus. All right. But you want to cultivate within you a willingness to walk away. Willingness to walk away. This is a very important component of proper manifesting. What this means, it's not to stop dreaming big, Paula. That's not what it means. What it means is if it's not working, be willing to walk away to enjoy your life more. Okay. Be willing to walk away. So if it's not working out, if it's not coming, instead of continuing to focus and drive towards that dream, give yourself a break. And you're going to give yourself a break to step back and get more into the state of feeling good because you're the most important thing. Okay, I'm not gonna stay stuck to this idea and allow my vibration to go down. Rather, I'm going to be willing to walk away. It also applies if you are manifesting things that are not exactly what you want, and I don't mean exactly, but, like, if they're way off. So let's say that you manifest a relationship, but that person's treating you not the way you wanna be treated. A lot of times people will stay with that relationship. Well, this is what I wanted to manifest, so I'm gonna stay with this. But if it's not up to a standard that's important to you, be willing to walk away, okay? So this does a couple things. One, it helps you cultivate a state of detachment and letting go. But the other thing is it upholds your standards, okay? I only want this thing if it's bringing me joy. I only want this thing if it's good for me. Okay, and if you're not getting that from the thing that you're wanting to manifest, be willing to walk away, and so, one way that it can look like is in picking another dream. Pick something else to focus on, okay? Find something else to, get your mind into so that you're no longer so tethered to the current dream. We're talking about babies. I have an example here on the babies. You had a baby question before. So, a lot of times I'll get you've probably heard this story before. How many times have you heard of a woman who really wanted to get pregnant, and she kept trying, trying, and trying, and trying, and it wasn't working, it wasn't working, it wasn't working, and finally, she had the willingness to walk away. She said, "You know what? I've had enough. I'm done with this. It's stressing me out. I've had enough." And she decides to adopt, or she just decides she's done, and then all of a sudden she gets pregnant, okay? Willingness to walk away is that state of detachment. You wanna have that kinda attitude about yourself. I like it when things are going good, but when they're not, I'm willing to walk away. Very important component. You really only wanna hang in there with manifestations and focusing on manifestations when you feel good and positive about them. When you don't, be willing to walk away. Alright. Again, if you guys have manifesting questions, please go ahead and drop them into the chat. Going on with this baby stuff. Crystal Crary says, "Angel, age is not important. I got remarried and had 2 more children at 39 and 42. I even had them at home in bed with my husband delivering. It was wonderful." See? See? Possible. Not only possible, probable. Okay? Alright, and yes, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, please make sure to do so or follow my Facebook page. I do put out lives like this every single week, so make sure to join along with me. And also, if you are new to my work and you haven't yet taken my manifesting test, please make sure to do that. I have a very quick 5-minute free test where you can prove the law of attraction to yourself, put something out, and watch it come back. And to take that test, you can go to manifestingtest.com. Again, that's manifestingtest.com. Mary, if you could go ahead and drop that into both of the chats, I would appreciate it. Mary's gonna drop that into Facebook under my name, or you can just go direct to manifestingtest.com. All right. Grab some more questions here. Tina Jam, do I have to go out to social events in order to manifest my soulmate, or can I just do activities that make me happy? My friends say the only way I'll manifest love is by online dating. You know, you could manifest a soulmate any which way. I would probably argue personally that you will probably have an easier time making a match in person just because you're gonna get a feel for that person's energy. Um, that doesn't mean you have to go to social events, though. I mean, just get out there, be around people, okay? So get out of the house, eye contact, being receptive, open body language. Those are things that she'd probably wanna focus on more than just, like, going to social events, but when you're around people, putting out a vibration that says, "I'm open for contact." So open body language. Think about, when you're around people that you wanna talk to or potentially work something out with, think about keeping your chest out, not to show off this area, but because it's about, projecting kind of your heart energy out, opening up, and then also being willing to look at people and connect with them. You wanna be putting out a signal that I want to connect. Okay, that's probably gonna be easier for you, and no, you don't have to go to social events, but I would be practicing that when you're out in public, okay, so that you start to develop that ability to connect with real people and to see if there's a potential love match. Cowlitz Bill, how do I manifest more self-confidence and a better self-concept? I like a fake it till you make it for that one. So just like we were just talking about, like, body language, I think body language is probably the easiest way to go about that, is to focus on cultivating confident body language. When you act confident, it will start to make you feel confident. It's the same kind of phenomenon that happens, like, if you really get yourself dressed up and you do your hair nice and you put on the nice shoes or the perfume or the cologne and you're really done up well, when you leave the home, you're automatically going to feel more confident, you're gonna feel better about yourself because you're in that kind of state. You put yourself into that position and your mind is gonna start to cue in on, "Wow, I look good. Wow, I smell good." It makes you feel better. The same thing is true of your body language and your posturing, okay? So learning things like confident body language, confident speech, practicing those things will automatically make you more confident through repetition. Because when you automatically have confident body language, you're automatically going to feel more confident. And through the law of attraction, those feelings build momentum, okay? A lot of times people think there's a lot more to it. There's really not. You just need to start acting confident. Rainbow traveling yogi doesn't hear the rain. Well, it stopped now. I was waiting for the thunder. Helen Banks, hi. Do you have any law of attraction tips for learning new skills quickly and making it fun rather than boring? Thank you so much. Learning new skills quickly. Immersion, immersion, making it a game. What I mean by immersion is like you don't want to just do like a pot shot, like you do it once in a while, but like you really kind of want to do a deep dive. The nice thing is that you can use the law of attraction for momentum with this. If there's a skill that you want to learn, I would only pick skills that were fun. Okay, first of all, and I've talked about this before. You really only want to be doing stuff that's calling you anyway. But if it's something that's fun and you can start to focus on it and give it a little bit more attention than you would normally, that will start to build. Okay, so you guys may have seen this before where this happens to me. Let me know if this happens to you. But I'll get, all gung ho about something. Like right now, again, I'm going to the gun range. I don't know why it was fun for me. And I start focusing on it. And now it's like I'm more and more interested and I want to go more and I'm wanting to learn more. Your mind will automatically start to think more and more about that topic. Okay. So the key with it is really just getting going with something that you like, giving it focus, and then kind of making a game out of it, giving yourself targets, so to speak. So what are some areas that you wanna improve and focusing on those? That will naturally make you more interested. The reason why people fail to learn new skills is that a lot of times they don't really get into it in the first place. "I'm gonna get to it later," or, "I'm just gonna go to the gun range and just shoot the gun a few times and then put it down." They don't actually think about, "Okay, how could I get better at this?" Okay, so that's kind of what I would focus on is how can I get better at this? Set some targets for yourself not because you have to, but because that will make it more of a game. I do this when I go to the gym. Can I lift this much weight? Or can I do this exercise now? And always kind of adding a new challenge, a fun challenge, so that it's engaging for you and keeps you wanting to move forward. All right, guys. Again, today we are talking about the most overlooked aspects in accurate manifesting. Again, with manifesting, you want to have good form. You don't just, put it up on a vision board. You can, but if these other things are not in place, you're gonna find that it's very hard to manifest the things that you want. So the first thing we talked about was that hesitation creates fear. So you wanna cultivate this habit of being kind of quick to the draw. When you get ideas, things that you wanna do, I don't mean you gotta drop everything, you don't have to be at your kid's play and leave suddenly to go do X, Y, Z. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that when you get an idea to do something and you could do it now and you want to do it now. Don't push it out, okay? Because pushing things out creates fear, and then fear creates doubt, and then all of a sudden you've got doubt that's pushing your dream away. The second thing we talked about is willingness to walk away. Okay, so if you want something and it's not coming, be willing to just back off of it. I cannot tell you how often just backing off has allowed things to fall into my lap. The more of a big deal you make it, the harder it's going to be for you to manifest it. All right, for our next item here, has to do with something we talked about here a second ago. Well, we talked about self-confidence. This is self-love, okay? Self-love must must be number 1 above any desire, anything that you want. Self-love has to be number 1. If self-love isn't number 1, you're doing it wrong, okay? And we all have to learn this one again and again, all right? But this kinda ties back into that question we were talking about letting things go, all right? Now, if you're going to manifest something and you're feeling bad, you're feeling like trash, maybe you're in a relationship that doesn't feel good, or you've been going after something and it's not coming and you're getting upset. Well, in that moment, what's happening is that you're not number 1. You've made the relationship number 1. You've made the other person number 1. You've made the manifestation number 1. You've externalized your importance somewhere else. You've gotta remember at all times that you are the creator of your reality, and the way that you create is through your vibration. Okay, when you are constantly radiating a message that says, "I love myself, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself," then the universe is going to love you too, love you too, love you too, love you too. It will bring you what you want. It will bring things to you that make you feel even better. But if you subjugate yourself beneath other things, now you're saying, "I'm not important, I'm not important, I'm not important," and then the universe will reflect back to you through the law of attraction, "You're not important. You don't get what you want. You're not getting this, you're not getting that." Okay, so very often these things get turned around. We do want things, but you gotta remember that it has to be you first. Your love has got to be directed at you first and foremost, and at any time you sense that it's not, you gotta stop what you're doing and get back in touch with being kind to yourself, loving yourself, and putting yourself first. Very, very, very important. You know, this is something I remember back before I learned about the law of attraction, this is something too with self-love. Back before I learned about the law of attraction, I did not have a high degree of self-love, like, at all. And it was you could see it kind of reflected in my reality in that I didn't think I deserved things. I didn't feel worthy of things. I wouldn't even ask for things that I wanted because I put the outer world ahead of myself. It's more important that other people have these things, or having these things is gonna make me look greedy, or I'm not worthy of this kind of stuff. This stuff is better than me. This is for people better than me. And as a result, I did not attract a lot of material wealth or a lot of nice things. But once I started to cultivate this sense of self-love, and now I put myself first, well, now I feel like I'm worthy of stuff. So now I feel worthy of getting nice cars, money, jewelry, whatever. Maybe it sounds materialistic, and perhaps it is, but I'm worth it. and I feel that way, so now I get it. And so a lot of times people will do this and they ask about abundance. How is abundance related to self-love? It's absolutely related to self-love. Because if you don't love yourself, you're not gonna feel worthy of a lot of this stuff. You're not going to attract these kinds of things. But if you really do love yourself, you're going to feel comfortable asking for the things that you want from the universe, and you're gonna be comfortable with receiving them. All right? So self-love is super, super, super important. All right? Always make sure that you're putting yourself first. All right. If you guys have questions, go ahead and drop them into the chat. Hello, Allie from Romania. Nice to see you. Paula, my cousin got pregnant as soon as they adopted. Yep. Really talking babies today here. Camille, first time I'm able to catch your live, so happy. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining. Elise, do you recommend meditating each day in aiding with manifestation? No, but you can. Meditation, I think daily meditation, I would really say is a very helpful thing to do. Especially if you are dealing with anxiety or stress, self-worth issues, then yes, okay? Yes, I would think it's a really great thing because a lot of times what's going on is the mind the mind attracts thoughts, okay? So if you're used to living in stress, if you're used to living in chaos, if you are used to thinking negatively, then those thoughts are running on autopilot. Meditation can be very helpful at quieting that down, because when you meditate, what you do is you focus on one thing. So either you're focused on your breathing, or maybe you're focused on a flame, or maybe you're focused on the voice of the speaker on the guided meditation. But that's the aim when you're meditating, is that you focus on one thing. And so when you focus on one thing, all those other thoughts calm down. Okay, and so what meditation allows you to do is to reduce the noise and the clutter in your mind. Because thanks to the law of attraction, if you're thinking lots of chaotic thoughts, it becomes more and more normal to just think lots of chaotic thoughts, and it's hard to just turn them off. Okay, so that's what meditation is really for, is helping to slow that kind of nonsense down so that you can have clarity of thought. So you don't need to meditate in order to manifest. I would say it's better for improving mental health, it's better for lowering stress, it's better for getting you in a more zen place if you need it. That being said, if you don't meditate, make sure that each day you're doing things that you enjoy and keep you in a state of peace, okay? So if you can find activities that keep you in a state of feeling calm, feeling like everything is working, that's what you wanna be doing, and I'm making this distinction because sometimes people turn meditation into a chore, and if you feel like you have to do that every morning and you don't really want to, it's not gonna have the same effects. You're gonna start to resent the practice. So instead, make it your goal each day, I wanna do things that get me into my happy place and get me into that zen place, whatever those things are. Maybe it's meditation or maybe it's something else. Camille, I launched my coaching program 2 months ago, and I'd like to have more clients. I'm trying to follow your tricks and to let go, but I find it hard. Any suggestions? Yes. Um, Launch a different program. Start something else. Not because you don't want this one to work, but because you do. So this is kind of the keeping the pipeline full strategy. Okay, so with people who run businesses, and I do have a business program, it's called Entrepreneur Fastlane. That may be helpful. Mary, if you drop that one into the chat for anyone that wants to see that, that would be helpful. But this strategy is really great for kind of keeping you in that zone of feeling like there's possibility. So you launch a program, you have it, it's there. A lot of times what people who are in business will do is they'll stop with that thing and they start ruminating about how do I get more people into this particular program? How do I get this to work? You would be better served by thinking a little broader. What's the next big thing that I could work on for my business that would bring in revenue? Okay, because what's gonna happen is maybe you start a different program, or maybe you write a book, or you got something el some other plan that's in the works. Now your mind is starting to think, "Ooh, maybe we'll make some money on this one over here." And you start to focus on the possibility of that one, and that possibility starts to go on over to all the other things you have going on in your business. Okay, so this is one of those things I've had to learn the hard way. If you guys wanna know why I've got so many courses, et cetera, it's because I use this strategy a lot, if I'll build something, I'll make it, it'll sell for a while, and then when the juice starts to run out, time to make another one, okay? And that always keeps me in the flow of keeping things going, feeling like we got more coming, and it keeps me adding more things into my business. So that's what I would suggest, and it'll keep you busy, it'll keep you engaged in the process. All right. Yeah, and in addition to that, I do have, another link. Mary, if you'd also put in just the link for the Law of Attraction courses and downloads. I've got lots of courses and downloads. There's about 50 of them in there now. If you like this kind of content and you'd like to see what all I have to offer, I've got all kinds of advice on all different topics: abundance, relationships, weight loss, fitness, career, business, etc. And they range, from short little programs that are $17 for an individual download all up to big courses that cost hundreds of dollars that do come with coaching. So if you'd like to see what I've got, you can go ahead and check those links out. Mary will drop that into the chat. All right, but let's move on because today we're talking about the most overlooked aspects of accurate manifesting. You want to have good form, okay? Good form at all times. It's like I was saying, going to the gun range and you're shooting, you want to get on target. Well, you want to have a good grip every time you shoot the gun. You wanna pull the trigger appropriately every time you pull the trigger. You wanna have the right stance every time you wanna have the right form with all of these things. Okay, so we talked about no hesitation. Okay, hesitation creates fear. Willingness to walk away. Putting self-love first. Here's the next one. Oh, this one. Okay. This one, I think I drive people insane when I do this because I do this all the time. And I'll mention these things, and I think people think I'm nuts in my personal life, but it makes such a difference. You have got to remember that every outcome is a good outcome. Every outcome is a good outcome. What do I mean by this? When you are manifesting or when you're trying to create things in your life, sometimes it doesn't quite work out the way you wanted it, okay? Or sometimes it comes and it's a little bit off. Sometimes it rains, okay? That happens. The natural tendency most people have is that when they start to get negative feedback, they identify it as negative feedback, and they use that as an excuse to say, "This isn't working out." Okay, so I'm starting to date this guy, and things are going well, but man, he hasn't texted me all day. Well, that's not good, that's bad. That means it's not working out. Don't wanna do that. Okay, instead, you always wanna be looking at and defining that every outcome is a good outcome. Well, maybe he's, at the store trying to buy me a gift, or maybe he's just playing hard to get right now because he wants my attention. You gotta find a way to put a positive spin on things. This is how you keep yourself on track with your manifestation. You can't get bogged down by the little details and define them as meaning that your dream's not going to come. Anything that happens is teaching you something or redirecting you in a way that's getting you on your path. That's the way that you wanna look at every single outcome that comes your way. So last week on a live, this was one, someone had asked a question about student loans. They were asking about how to pay off student loans, and somebody had written into the chat, "Oh, I hate student loans, they're the worst," something to that effect. And so that's an example of, okay, I got a student loan I gotta pay back, and that's a bad thing. It's a bad thing. Well, on the live, I mentioned that it's not a bad thing. It's an abundance education opportunity. Okay. This is the kind of thing that I'll do. Whenever something is mentioned as it's a bad thing, no, it's not. It's a good thing because it's teaching you something about money. It's a good thing because it's teaching you how to manifest. It's a good thing because by the time you pay this off, you're gonna be really good at attracting money. See how you wanna be doing that, no matter what it is. I don't care if you're going through a divorce. I don't care if it's a bankruptcy. I don't care if it's student loans. I don't care if you broke a leg. Whatever it is, somehow it's a good thing. It's helping you out. Now, this isn't false. It's not false because I promise you, if you look back into your life at some of the worst things that have happened, and you will always see that they teed you up for something really great. This is just having the foresight to understanding that in advance, and it's a very important aspect in manifestation because a lot of things that we're manifesting aren't just things that come in one fell swoop. Sometimes you manifest things like a lottery win. That's one thing and it just but sometimes you're manifesting something like, I don't know, building a business. And building a business is a journey and it's a process. Having a baby is a process, it's a journey, and there's all these different steps along the way. If you get hung up on any of one of those little steps and say it's not working, well, now you can push back the whole manifestation forever. You don't wanna be doing that. So whenever there's a step that seems like a misstep, you wanna validate it and say, "This is a good thing. This happened for a good reason. This is keeping me on my path somehow." That way you keep staying on path, okay? I hope that that makes sense. Alright, guys, again, if you've got questions, please go ahead and drop them into the chat. Paula asks, "How do we accelerate things that we are certain are coming?" And my mom asks, "We trust blindly that the universe is bringing us what we need, and oh, the speed is not ideal." Ah, so okay, how do you get it to go quicker? So, this is one of my favorite strategies for making things come quicker. Tell it needs to take longer. I don't want that to come now because I got some other stuff. Let me tie this back into the baby because 'cause we're talking babies today for some reason. Okay, so this let's say that you're trying to get pregnant. We're just gonna use that as an example. And you didn't get pregnant the 1st month, the 2nd month, and you're starting to get stressed, and you wanted to hurry up. Okay, I wanted to hurry up. How do I get it to speed up, Andrea? Tell yourself, I don't wanna get pregnant this month or next month, I wanted to stay thin because I had this party that I wanted to go to, and then I can get into this dress. I'm gonna be nice and tight if I can or I can drink at that event, and so I don't wanna get pregnant this month or next month. Tell it that you don't want it to come and start to come up with reasons why if it takes longer, it's better. Now I know that sounds counterintuitive, but it works. If you can honestly convince yourself that you want your dream, "You know what? I just want to wait a minute. I'm not ready for it. It can wait till later." Now it's gonna wanna show up, okay? Because the universe can be very contrary like that. It's like playing, reverse psychology on yourself. I don't want it, I don't want it. It's kind of like, when you don't want the guy, then he chases you. When you don't want the girl, then she's interested in you. When you don't want it to come now, now it's gonna come. See, what's going on is that when it's taking forever, what we're saying is, "I need it to come now," which means, "It's not coming now, it's not coming now. Why isn't it coming now? Why isn't it coming now?" And so it won't come now, it won't come now, it won't come now. That's what keeps you waiting. It could come right now if you stop focusing on how it wasn't coming now. So you saying, "I don't want it to come now," takes the focus off of it. You're like, "Okay, just don't come. I don't wanna deal with it." You can move on and detach, and then boom, it shows up. That's my favorite thing to do when I want something to speed up. I just tell myself I don't want it, and I keep giving examples as to why I don't want it now until I honestly don't want it now, and then it comes. And then you don't even want it then. So but you got it, so that's how that works. Sometimes desperate times, you gotta do some crazy stuff. Kay says, "I've had 2 ladies who were told they couldn't have prevailed. It's possible." See, so much evidence. Owl's Vision Tarot. I've heard that you procrastinate what you want yet or you don't truly want it. Yeah, don't wanna do it to do it, right? Or you're not ready for it, meaning you don't believe it. So that's why if you do want something and you don't yet believe it, the second you get the inkling to move, just move quickly because you're not gonna have generated a lot of fear yet. Okay. It's such a small doubt that you can just take a leap. You can just make the call. You can just start the business real fast. Like you can just execute really quickly on something rather than letting that doubt start to sit. Because once that doubt is there, then yes, that becomes a more ingrained belief and you'll continue to procrastinate. T. Sherry Baby, Andrea, how to no longer want the need of family or close friendships. Ooh, want the need. It kind of sounds from that question that perhaps we've been disappointed by friendships and family. So, really, kind of that dials back into making self love number one. Okay. So, you want to become the person that loves yourself. You want to look to yourself for love rather than outside people. You want to put yourself first rather than externalizing. The more you really work on that, the more you're going to step into the awareness that you don't need other people. And in fact, when you really love yourself, that's when people show up for you. Okay. So when you put yourself first, when you love yourself first, that's when the family is nicer. That's when the friends are better. A lot of times within relationships, what's going on is we externalize our happiness on the other people. I want for them to show up for me. I want them to support me. I want them to show me that they love me. And that's coming from a place of I don't quite love myself as much as I want to. So I'm looking for this outside. Force. And so then that message is I'm not that lovable. I'm not that lovable. And then the friends and the family detach or they disappoint you or they're abusive towards you or whatever. So the real remedy is dialing into that self-love. And then what happens is, people that are around you will start to show you more love and people that you really don't want to have relationships with, it will be very easy for you to say, "You know what? Goodbye." Because I love myself and you got to go. All right? So put self-love first. Really first. Deep dive on that. All right. So, again, today we're talking about the most overlooked aspects in accurate manifesting. Let's get to our next one. Okay. So, no hesitation, willingness to walk away, self love, number one. Every outcome is a good outcome. Remember that one. Here's the next one. Do not, do not, well, you will. You will anyway, but try not. Try not to get lost in the illusion. Try not to get lost in the illusion. So you are creating your reality through a projection in your mind. Everything that's out here is an illusion that you created with your mind. It's a dream. It's a dream, but it's very realistic, and we all get lost in the dream. So just like when you go to sleep at night, you create a dream in your mind and you get lost in that dream and you think that it's real. The same thing happens here in your waking state. You've created a dream and it feels very real and you get lost in it. Here's the problem. When you're trying to manifest something new, particularly if it's something that you feel is big or is important or is radically different from anything you've had before. So let's say that you've always lived in poverty and you want to live a very rich life. That's the reality you want to create. You have got to find a way to see through the illusion. Because if you get lost in the illusion of your current reality is parroting back to you your current beliefs and your current limiting beliefs. So if you want to live in a very abundant reality and you get lost in your current world, and your current world is one that was built on poverty mentality, you are going to continue to believe that it's not possible because everywhere you look, you're going to be seeing evidence that I'm poor. I don't have money. This isn't working out for me. You have to take a broader view. You have to start to step out of the illusion and always be dialing back into that idea or that knowledge that you are creating this through thought. So, something that can be very helpful for this is to start to really notice and identify the things that you're creating. So, if you have a negative thought, oh, there's going to be a big bill, and then that happens, Take ownership of it. Oh, that's right. I thought that was going to happen. I must have created that. That's what I created in the illusion. Remind yourself, I created that in the illusion so that you're always kind of in that state of at least being able to recollect that what's going on out here came from your own mind. It's not something that has any power over you unless you forget that you're the one in charge. Very, very important thing. This was something I've told this story before, but this is one of my favorite stories about seeing through the illusion. And I don't know, I was probably just a few years into learning about the law of attraction, but I had 3 separate occasions where I injured my back. And on the 3rd one, I could barely walk. Like, I was in a chair like this, and my kids were, like, pushing me around the house because I couldn't even stand up and walk. And it was bad. It was really bad. And so I was going to a chiropractor at the time, and he saw me a number of times, and finally he's like, "You know, there's nothing I can do to help you. We looked at the x-rays. You need surgery. That's the drill. You gotta go and get surgery for this." And because I'd learned about the law of attraction and because I understood that this was an illusion, at that point, it really started to shake me up. I'm like, "I don't wanna create that. I don't wanna believe that. I don't wanna believe that this is reality and that I have to get surgery. That's not what I wanna do." And so in that moment, I kinda stepped back out. I don't have to do it that way. That's not a definition that I like. I can heal myself. I can get better on my own. And pretty quickly, my back actually started to get better. And within a couple months, I was walking and doing fine and going to the gym. Now I can do back bends. I've got tremendous back flexibility. I can do deadlifts, squats, you name it. All right. And I never got the surgery. But I'll tell you what, if I had chosen to stay lost in the illusion, wouldn't have worked out for me. Okay, so when you hear stories about people that do stuff like this, or they cure their own cancer, or they lift a car off a kid, or they do something crazy, it's because they see through the illusion in that moment. So, particularly when you have big dreams, you have to be willing to step outside, okay, and remember that you're the one that has the power and that it can be very seductive to get lost in the illusion of your reality, but it will only reinforce your limitations that are keeping your dream away from you. Hello, Benoit. XMI, can you elaborate as to what extent self-love is, what it is? Care for yourself, putting yourself first, um, remembering remembering that you're the creator, knowing that it all starts with you. Very the big thing is really putting as many positive definitions on yourself as you can. What are you doing well? Why are you proud of yourself? Why are you a good person? Why are you a good creator? Why are you worthy? Why are you deserving? These are questions you want to be asking yourself regularly and answering regularly. Another great self love practice is every morning when you wake up, just sit there and gas yourself up in the morning, okay? I'm good at this. I did this well. I knocked that out of the park. You know, my hair is looking great. Blah, 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 blah. Sit there and gas yourself up every morning before you even get out of bed. It's one of the best things that you can do. Whatever you start with at the beginning of the day will build momentum as the day progresses. And a lot of times when people wake up, the first thing that they do is they smash the alarm and they curse the day because they got to go to work. And so they start off in this kind of negative frame. But if you can wake up and before you do one single thing, you just sit there and start going on building up. This is why I'm a great person. I love myself. I'm a good person. That will really start to generate momentum. You'll be feeling really good about yourself day to day. Okay. It's super, super important. Oh, this chat just keeps jumping over on Facebook, on YouTube. Nay, nay. I can't seem to shake off the fear of failing in my business. Can't get new customers, and I can feel my frequency is in the trash, but having a hard time raising it. Any tips? Okay, so we would like for you to perhaps get off the subject a little bit if you're feeling that overwhelmed by it. I'm not saying you can't work on your business, but when the anxiety builds, you want to kind of step away. And what I would focus on is how am I successful and what kinds of things do I feel successful at? So maybe the business isn't going great, okay? But maybe you're doing really great with friendships, or maybe you're a really great cook, or maybe you're really good at the gym. Like you have some area in your life that you're knocking out of the park. Spend more time in that domain where you're having success. Because what that's going to do is it's going to build up the idea that I am successful, I can do things well, I am competent, I am great. You want to build up that feeling of confidence. So if you have anything like that that you're really good at, that every time you do it, you feel confident, I would go and do that. So, like me, I talk about the gym a lot. I love the gym. It's not something I do professionally. I don't make any money in there, but I go every single day. And I go in the morning, and that's one of the reasons why, because I really am good at the gym. I could do lots of stuff in there and I really enjoy it and I really feel confident. So doing that every day promotes those feelings within me. And then when I come to work, those feelings are in the work. Or when I show up with my kids, those feelings are in that energy as well. So that's what I would suggest. Okay. A little less trying with the business, a little bit more focusing on activities that make you feel successful and competent. And then along those lines, get yourself feeling successful and competent prior to working. You wanna show up in that state where you feel competent. You may wanna go so far as, like, getting dressed, like, put yourself together as much as you can, stand tall, like, try and show up like you've got a high degree of momentum, of confidence when you're working. I hope you guys didn't hear that. Did you guys hear that? Oh, goodness, I didn't see these. Thank you, Jean, for the super thanks. Looks like that's your first one. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nick Lee. Thank you, Helen Banks, for your super chats. I do appreciate that. Thank you so much. So kind. Carrie, buy her courses. I have and they work. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you for the endorsement. I appreciate it. Martine. Hi, Andrea. I really enjoy your lives. Thank you so much. Is the audio weird? Sally says the audio is weird. Let me know. Coral petals. How do you manifest when you don't have clarity? For example, you want to start a new career or business, but not sure in what area, or you want to move to a new city, but not sure which one. Thank you. Okay, I'll give you a quick tip. I use this a lot. Um, Instead of trying to manifest the career or business, manifest the clarity. So, like, if there's something I want to do, so like I wanted to build a new course. So, my latest course I was talking about, the letting go course, I wanted to manifest a new course, but I didn't know what to do. So when I have a situation like that where I know I want to do something, but I'm not sure what, I'll ask the universe, hey, give me an idea. Now, just put it out there. This is the trick. Just ask the universe, can you just bring me a great idea? And don't insist on when it comes or anything like that. Just, hey, just send me a good idea. This one always works for me. Um, at some point when I'm in a good place, maybe I'm at the gym or maybe I'm meditating or who knows, I'm in the shower, I'm in a good place, all of a sudden the idea will come. This happens for me all the time. So I really, if you're looking for a direction, instead of trying to figure it out, like a lot of times people will try to figure it out, instead of trying to figure out, where you're going with your logical mind, put down, like, the big picture and just ask, "I would like some clarity on which direction to take," and you'd be surprised, you'll get some good ideas that way. Because it happens when you're in alignment. You become a match in resonance with the idea. And That right there is kind of a low resistance thing. Whenever I've got stuff like that, that's what I do. Oh, I love this question. A bully. Dear Andrea, what are your thoughts on therapy and healing? I feel value in processing old emotions, but worry about focusing too much on negative. Curious to hear your perspective, Emma. I love that question. And it's one I've thought about because I've gone to therapy. I've told you guys I've some diagnoses and things that I've done. And I agree with you. Okay. So there is kind of a point with therapy, and everyone's different. So you would know yourself best. But there is a point sometimes with therapy where it becomes rumination on the past or you become focused on the problems. And if you get to that point, then I think it's a good time to take a break. Okay, provided you don't have something going on that requires other types of mediation. But for me, like I was diagnosed with borderline at one point, and then also CPTSD. And in the therapy, if what I'm doing is providing a solution, if it's making me feel better, if I'm getting ahead somehow, if I'm feeling relief, then that's a good thing to be going towards. But if it starts wandering into that territory where I feel like I'm just focusing in on the problems, focusing in on the past, staying tethered to the issue, then I'm moving in fear. Okay, so you have to be mindful of that. And a lot of times people just give blanketed trust to professionals like doctors and psychiatrists and et cetera. But you have to understand that they're human beings, okay? And sometimes they'll go there with you. Okay. Not all of them, but some of them will. So you have to be discerning. So you want to become very clear on your vibrational state. Is this helping me feel better? If it is, great. If I'm starting to feel like session after session, I'm just getting bogged down, just take a break. And it doesn't have to be a permanent break, but maybe a temporary break. And then if you want to break further than that, you can. Okay. The therapist isn't in charge of your healing. You are, I guess, is what I'm really driving at there. Carrie says, my nurse friend used to tell women who wanted to get pregnant to plan something different, either a trip or a fun project, and get busy chasing that. Every woman that tried it, it worked like a charm. There you go. All this great advice. Khaled's Bill, back pain can be a deep seated fear of I'm not supported by the universe. Yeah. That is precisely the limitation that I identified with that one in particular. I'm not supported. Yeah, focus if you're having back pain, focus on I am supported. I am supported. How am I supported? Cat, how to manifest away jets and train whistles around the weekend to get away home. They weren't there when I purchased the property. Okay, so you're attending to them too much. So, let me give you my example. So, I live in Florida, like I mention all the time, and we are like the land of perpetual lawn care, okay? So, and I've got a window right here, and the lawn guys come through, and it can be very loud. The more that I fight against that or attend to that, the more they just show up when I don't want them to be there. Okay. But if I can kind of make peace with them and appreciate them, then they do much better. So this is a little game I played with my lawn care guys. And now the lawn care guys really only come Thursday afternoon. So they'll be coming in a couple hours. Now they're very predictable. But before I used to do this, they were here like all the time. I never knew when they were going to come. So when I hear them, I appreciate them. Oh, they're out there cutting the grass, keeping the neighborhood looking nice. Man, they're so reliable. They always get it done. I'm so glad that people in this neighborhood are getting their yard trimmed. It looks really nice when their yards are all put together. You wanna find a way to kinda look at the same thing with the jets and the train whistles. What's a way that you can appreciate them? Oh, I'm glad that we've got travel, and I'm glad that, there's places that I'll be able to get a airplane ride nearby here. That means I can get in and out really quickly. Well, sometimes it's fun to look at planes or it's fun to ride trains. Find a way to focus on the positive aspects of trains and planes so you're not pushing against them. That's what I'd recommend. Because if they weren't there before, they don't have to be there now. Or you can get them to show up when you're just not at the weekend property home. You can do that. Absolutely. At least I'm struggling to remain positive when trying to manifest celebratory vacations this year, while my cynical, realistic husband is doubtful we can pull it off. You do not need him to agree with you. Yeah, you don't need he doesn't need to agree with you. You believe he's gonna give you pushback. So he's giving you pushback. That's what's happening. Okay. He has no way of messing that up for you unless you endow him with that ability to do so. And so if we've come to identify that our spouse is cynical or they're going to give us pushback, then yes, they're going to give you pushback. They're going to because you believe that he's going to. So divorce yourself from the idea that you need him on board with this. Well, I'm going on vacation, you know. I actually did this with my husband. He never wanted to go on vacation for the longest time. He liked to stay close to home, close to that he would go on vacation, but he wouldn't go on large vacations, like long vacations. So, and I kinda got tired of not being able to go on any extended vacations. So I just decided I'm gonna take my kids on some vacations. And so I mentioned this on my channel, and you may have seen it. Last year I took my daughter to Germany. This year I took my son to France. They both wanted to go to those countries. So I just planned those vacations for us. Now, guess who wants to go to Italy? Now my husband wants to go. You don't need their permission. So I might start doing that. Plan yourself some vacations. You might be surprised. He might decide he wants to join you. Okay. And another quick reminder, guys. Again, I do have those two new programs, not two new programs. I do have a new program that's coming out in October on detachment. If you want to become a master of detachment, I've got a program called Relax and Detach that is coming out in October. So it's very easy to become attached to outcomes, very easy. And sometimes it feels really hard to let them go. In this particular program, I'm going to show you why it's so easy to get into attachment so that you can prevent them from occurring in the first place. And I'm also going to help you detach from anything that you're currently attached to. If you're interested in that program and you'd like to learn more, I did place a link in the chat. Mary, if you could also put that into Facebook, I would appreciate that. And that link will give you updates as that course gets near, and also a limited 50% off coupon code during its launch week. Additionally, there's another link there for my magnetic appeal program. If you are interested in attracting a relationship, so maybe you're single and you want to attract someone new, maybe you have a specific person you have your eye on, or an ex, or maybe you're already in a partnership, but the passion has drained out of the relationship. This is a program that will be very helpful. It's going to show you how to develop this kind of magnetic charm and pull that brings the desired partner to you and facilitates a very beautiful relationship that is lasting in nature. That particular program will be going on sale next month for 50% off. So if you're interested in grabbing that one, click that link so that I know you all heard that one. Or was they couldn't hear the rain. Did you guys hear that? We get some serious thunderstorms here. All right, but anyway, if you're interested in that one and you want the coupon code for that one, click that link. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. It's getting a little bit later for me. I don't know if the long guys are going to come in this storm, but it's time for me to sign off. But I will be back on Sunday. So if I didn't grab your question, feel free to jump back in and ask it for me on Sunday. On Sunday, I will be on Instagram rather than Facebook. All right, guys. Nice seeing you, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye bye.